So this is Geography Paper 1, Part 2 to the series. This is tropical rainforests. So the first part is, why should tropical rainforests be protected? So there are multiple reasons for this. One of these being biodiversity. So tropical rainforests contain half of all plants and animals in the world, and they're home to thousands of species, and many are going extinct or soon to be extinct. 25% of all medicines come from rainforest plants. More than 2,000 tropical forest plants have anti-cancer properties, which could be like crazy social benefiting. Rainforests absorb and store carbon dioxide, which is a gas that is partially responsible for climate change. 28% of oxygen also comes from rainforests. It contains important sources of clean water, because 20% of the world's fresh water comes from the Amazon basin, and indigenous tribes also live in harmony in rainforests. So the second part of this video is usage of rainforests. So the first part is ecotourism, and ecotourism actually aims to introduce people to the natural world, which brings benefits to local communities and protects the environment for the future. It also brings tremendous economic gain for the government, which they can then really put into the rainforests. And then international agreements is the next part. Rainforests are of global importance as they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, releasing oxygen and maintaining levels of humidity. International agreements have been made to help protect these rainforests. The next part is hardwood forestry. The FSC is an international organisation that promotes sustainable forestry. The FSC tries to educate manufacturers and consumers about the need to buy sustainable hardwood, rather than hardwood that does negatively affect the environment. Debt reduction. So to pay off debts, some countries have borrowed money to fund developments. And to pay off these debts, some have raised money in turn for rainforests not to be cut down. So debt for nature swapping. So basically, instead of paying their debts, they're preserving their rainforests and their natural environment, which brings positive aspects to the global warming. Okay, so now we move on to the third part of the video, where we talk about causes of deforestation in Malaysia. So logging, for example, clear felling, is where all the trees are cut down in one area. This can lead to the destruction of forest habitats. Mineral extraction. So mining is common in Malaysia. Rainforests have been cleared for mining and road construction, and drilling for oil and gas has been recently started on Borneo, which is a place in Malaysia. Population pressure. So for population pressure, people were encouraged by the government to move into the countryside from rapidly growing cities. This is called transmigration. That is an important definition you have to know. Between 1956 and the 1980s, about 15,000 hectares of rainforest were felled for the settlers. Many then set up plantations. The next point is commercial farming. So Malaysia is the largest exporter of palm oil in the world. During the 1970s, large areas of land were converted to palm oil plantations. And then the last part is slash and burn, which is a method of cutting down trees where they used fire to clear land. Fires could grow out of control and destroy large areas of forest, which can also be very harmful to these ecosystems. The last part of this video is impacts of deforestation in Malaysia. Okay, so one of these is soil erosion. So soil takes thousands of years to form, but it can be stripped away in a matter of hours. The roots of trees and plants bind to the soil and bind the soil together. So deforestation means soil can become loose and erode away, which is very harmful to the environment. And then loss of biodiversity is another factor. So rainforests are the most diverse ecosystems in the world, like I mentioned earlier. Deforestation destroys habitats on the ground and in trees. Contribution to climate change. So during photosynthesis, trees absorb carbon dioxide and emit oxygen. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas partially responsible for global warming. Deforestation also reduces moisture in the air, preventing a drier climate. And then just briefly, we're just going to look at economic gains and losses. So one economic gain is that oil, palm and rubber are produced. They're raw materials and they add to the economy. And then companies that sell these things have to pay taxes, which fuels the government. And then minerals, for example, gold, are very valuable. Hydroelectric power can come cheaply and there is a surplus of it. Economic losses, so pollution of water sources and may equal a dry climate. Fires can burn out of control. Plants could bring huge medical profits and benefits, like we talked about earlier with the cancer. And then the last point is that tourism could decrease, which would be very bad for the economy.